My name is Jen, and I am on a journey in order to break free from the destructive patterns of disordered eating and in order to embrace a nourishing lifestyle. My roadmap can be described using an acronym of the word Nourisher. So I'm doing daily video blog posts in order to encourage you, equip you, and keep you up to date on my progress. If this content is helpful or encouraging to you, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing with others. It is my deep desire that these videos would help to ignite nourishing transformations in us all. Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for my Nourisher Check In on what has been very honestly not a very nourishing day. When I notice my emotions, I kind of feel a little bit blah. That's not an emotion list, I know, but feel a little bit blah. And right now, actually, just because of something that just happened, I'm feeling really, I would use the word stupid, but I would hear my mother-in-law's voice in my head rebuking me. So I'll be a little kinder and say that, yeah, I just feel a little foolish or disappointed in myself. So here's the situation, how it went down. My husband, bless his heart, took the kids out this morning. As you know, I have been taking care of lots of different kids the last few days. And so he gave me a break and he took the kids out this morning. And I, rather than prioritizing nourishing, healing, restful, kind of enjoyable activities, I decided to spend most of the morning making a special lunch for them for when they got home. So we love to do this barbecue thing out on the deck where we all kind of cook up our own meat or whatever. So then when they called to say they were on their way back, I said, hey, who wants to do barbecue for lunch? And guess what they said? No, they don't want to. So it was like, so here I've got like the rice is cooked and all the veg is chopped and the meat's all ready to go. And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. And so I'm like, oh, why did I ask them? I assumed that they were going to say yes. That's why I asked them. But I should have communicated it by, hey, I've got lunch all prepared, looking forward to seeing you. This is what we're doing. So instead, then they said no, and then I got disappointed, and my husband's like, well, can't we just be flexible and use that for supper? And so then I have all these stream of emotions kind of coming up. So yeah, that's me today. Opening up to others, I've just kind of been doing that, that practice that I've been trying to do where I spend a little bit of time, not stimulating my brain with things on screens like, I love to research and love articles and love, ebooks or whatever, audiobooks. So I've just tried to given my brain a bit of a fast this morning and just kind of been chilling and watching where my brain has been kind of meandering too. So opening up to others has just meant opening up to myself this morning and understanding the cycle. I feel like I got up this morning, I had no desire to have breakfast and I didn't. And I got a call from some elderly neighbors who we thoroughly enjoy and have not been able to spend time with due to COVID, that they were in town. They'd been out of town for a while. So they were in town. So, instead of having breakfast, I whipped over there and enjoyed a really nice conversation with them. But then when I came home, I thought, oh yeah, I probably should eat. So I just kind of feel like I'm on like the restriction side of the fence of kind of like, hot and I don't really want to eat. So all I've had to eat today so far, we're approaching lunch. And last night I ate well, but so for today I've only had like a roasted sweet potato and then a clementine or a mandarin orange. So not so great. And like one glass of water. So I'm kind of feeling like not doing so great, like not feeling so great emotionally, not really connecting with anybody else. Not doing anything intentionally to rewire my brain. I've thought about it as like, rather than cook this lunch, I should take this time by myself to have a bath or go for a walk or do some appreciation and I've just done like nothing. Just nothing. So, so I feel like I'm leaning towards restriction, nothing to report on rewiring my brain. Not doing so great on insulin-friendly eating. Now I got to figure out a different lunch to serve or to tell my family, tough luck, we're having the barbecue meal. Sleep last night, went to bed late, was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I went back to sleep and had bad dreams. So maybe that's why I'm feeling so blah today, because I didn't get good sleep. That could totally be it. hydration, like I mentioned, I've only had like 1 glass of water today and haven't been out to exercise. Oh. So not every day is a super nourishing day. The other thing is that I really feel like, I mentioned it maybe a week or so ago. I was really struggling with the impact that my eating disorder and the patterns and habits that come with it, how that impacts other people in my life, and how I can just sit so heavily in the shame of that. And I was last night reading this really great article that actually I think I put in yesterday's additional resources area. I'll put it down there again today by Judy Sheen. And this is just so great. Judy, I think it's Scheel, PhD. She writes a book called When Food is Family. And she's got this great article. I'll put it down. But basically what she's talking about is she's talking about all the different ways that those of us with eating disorders use to cover up both the actual behaviors of the eating disorder as well as just the pain that's inside of our hearts. And whether it be, being more kind of like bright and gregarious than we really are in the inside, and that kind of being a duplicity, or actually hiding the actual habits of whether it's, if you're a purger or a binger, or you're trying to hide the fact that you're restricting when you're supposed to be eating, whatever. There can be a lot of hiding and deceit. There is a lot of hiding and deceit that goes into eating disorders. And so one thing that she said that was so encouraging to me was, in this article, she quotes, "This type of duplicity and deceit that a sufferer, an eating disorder sufferer, may adopt to protect themselves from having their vulnerabilities exposed is not characterological in nature," meaning that it is not part of their personality, but rather an adaptation and a response to cover up the eating disorder. And, I know that kind of some people can say, like, who cares? It's still horrible to be, lying and deceiving and not be acting in the outside the way that your true self feels. And I totally get that. And you're right. But this is so helpful to recognize that, it's part of the coping mechanism, which is the eating disorder, and not necessarily true to our hearts and our personality of who we are. And so if you're walking through an eating disorder, or even any, mental disorder with any of your loved ones, like Gabor Mate, I'm just like quoting Gabor Mate like crazy right now, but Gabor Mate always talks about the fact that our personality is a mix of our coping mechanisms, kind of our defense mechanisms, and our true authentic self. And we have to help people tease them out. So please, for yourself, if you're working through an eating disorder or any type of mental disorder or struggle, and for myself, I want to kind of say this to myself, that we need to be gentle with ourselves. I need to be gentle with myself in helping to tease out what is my true authentic self, and what are maybe just some of these defense mechanisms that have been providing some type of protection, even though I don't want that kind of protection anymore. So I guess that leaves me to reward. Why do I need to be doing what I'm doing? Why do I need to maintain a commitment to this nourishing lifestyle? And, I'm going to quote Dr. Scheel again, but she says, the upside is that recovery is absolutely possible for those whose duplicity serves to primarily cover up their shame and the symptoms of their eating disorder. They want to be better. They want to feel better about themselves, and their integrity has suffered, but they long for authenticity and want to abandon the lies and the manipulations and ultimately the eating disorder itself. And I say, amen, amen, amen. That is what this channel is all about, is about shining light and building authenticity. And just being real about even days that I wasn't so nourishing to myself. So, you know what? I believe the Bible teaches that God's grace is always new. Every morning there's new mercies for us. And so I am already looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and to maybe even having a more nourishing afternoon. Oh, and my rice is done. Perfect timing. All right. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.